So I happened upon an article a couple weeks ago that was featuring some Trader Joe's like best value red wines or wines in general at Trader Joe's. And of course, I immediately thought of my brother, brought it to his attention. I said, "Have you seen this?" To which he said,
"I had not seen that article, but I immediately got to work and read it."
You did?
I immediately got to work to read it, yes.
You got right on that with thinking.
I got right on that with thinking. And not every Trader Joe's carries the same wines. And we had a few of those. So.
We did. So Keith narrowed it down to like, okay, I can get these. And then he narrowed it down to here's the two I'm interested in. And then I narrowed it down to this one right here that we have for this Give It a Shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith. And we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beverage that we're about today is the Gambler's Flash Red Table Wine. It's a red blend from Paso Robles. We do not know the grape varietals that are involved. At least, they're not sharing it with us on the label. There may be access to that information somewhere, but we don't have it right now. But Paso Robles is known for Bordeaux-based grapes. And I like that. Sorry. That's the sound of progress right there.
That's the sound of progress.
Cabernet, Zinfandel.
I said that to my wife the other night.
That sort of thing. So who knows what could actually be in here. Syrah. They do a lot of Syrahs in, just once again, these are generalizations, but these are the types of grapes that you can find that Paso Robles does very well. And overall, they just do a great job of wine anyway. So, but yeah, this one intrigued you because it had a few key descriptors.
Yeah, I didn't want to completely go back through and look at the tasting notes, but I did quickly do a refresher on what was interesting to me, which it mentioned smoky fragrance, talked about some juicier note, like some things that really jumped out. I was like, okay, that sounds nice and hearty. And I don't see a lot of smoky sometimes when it comes to wine, so that intrigued me a little bit. Who knows how much of that we'll get? We're going to find out, though, right now. I'm very excited.
And kind of a cool thing for me is usually I have an idea from hearing from customers or hearing from coworkers what certain wines taste like or if they're good sellers. I have not talked to anybody who's actually had this wine.
Yeah. So. As dumb as this sounds, I know this is a weird thing to point out. I really like the label. That was honestly cool. Where I was like,
well, Trader Joe's in action there again. So,
and I also, I like Kenny Rogers too.
Got to know when to hold them.
Mm-hmm. We'll find out if this is worth holding or if it needs to be folded.
And $6.99 is what this costs.
Okay, good. Yeah, thank you.
I should have. Yeah,
13.9%, almost 14% ABV as well. So, very dark. Like I said, definitely red-ish purple. A little purple red going on in there.
Yeah. It's got. I mean, it's
darker than I kind of thought it was going to be.
You can't see through that really. So, a little bit of red, lighter red tinge around the edge there, but has a nice color.
It does, very much so. Darker than expected. I did just mention it, but I am getting some of the smoky.
Okay.
I'm getting a little bit. It kind of smells like a really good like steak marinade. Like I'm getting there's some like little, I don't know, like coffee's probably a little too much, but there's like that little kind of smokiness in there.
A little bit of cherry I get in there.
Definitely cherry, some darker, heartier fruit, maybe black currant, like those kind of like heavier things. But yeah, some other things that maybe there's something savory in there. Like there's a couple things that make me think of like, a steak that just came off the grill or something like that that's been marinated, and you kind of getting, some of those that, the meat along with the grilling.
So some spice or something.
Yeah, maybe a little spice in there too.
It's not,
but definitely fruit.
It doesn't like jump out at you and like wow, there it is. It's there, but it's not like overwhelming necessarily. So that's nice.
It's actually kind of reminds me of it's got some notes of like a stone. They used to do a smoked porter, like one of those like smoked beers where you get like a little bit of that in there. Like if you have the not quite like the one we did with the peat smoked malts, the homebrew that Jay and I had done.
Right.
But like those kind of notes are in there where it's blended in with the rest. It smells really good.
Yeah,
I like this. It smells like it should be hearty.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you're talking about a steak and steak marinade,
what I'm saying.
Yes, yeah, you think so? Yeah.
Yeah. I get a lot in the taste that I got in the aroma. I got very similar flavor profile.
The cherry is definitely there.
Yeah, the cherry really comes at like middle of the tongue, kind of bright. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I guess and to me it's like brightened by a little raspberry.
Oh yeah,
there's a little. So right now as I'm talking about this, it's reminding me of the mead that we had.
Oh, okay.
A
sure.
little bit. That
one of the
sort
ones
of-
from Artivum, like
yeah,
the mead.
one
Oh,
of the
sure.
Artivum meads. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, we
Yep.
had the raspberry. We had the raspberry peanut one.
Yeah.
That was really good.
That's
I bought a
kinda-
second bottle of that. It was so good.
That sort of lighter fruit is kind of just shining a little bit on top of that darker cherry.
I'm definitely like I really do still feel the smoke that's in there. Like I said, I'm getting some of that coming back forward, and I think my initial statement of like thinking about like a smoked porter or one of those kind of beers where it's layered in with some other flavors. Like I'm getting, a lot of that. It's not like a traditional like smoked beer. It's not like one of those. It's
Right.
more of like the blended in. Maybe the malts were like smoked, so then it's kind of a layer of flavor, which is good. A little bit of savory in there. Can't really tell I'm not good enough to kind of say exactly what, but there's definitely some savory notes. But yeah, that fruit is pretty strong. A little dry on the finish, and also, but the side of my tongue is kind of watering. Like the finish itself is dry, but I'm getting like the kind of little water. But I like this.
Yeah, there
is
is a
good.
little bit of wood or a little smoke or
Yeah.
something in there. Yeah. Yeah, I like it actually. It's it's weird. It's like it's not heavy, but it's also not light either.
Yeah,
It's
not as heavy in
good,
body as I thought it was going to be.
Right. It's got some good flavor. But I think you could drink this as because I'm very with red wine. When it starts getting warm, they don't really appeal to me.
Right.
But this one I think could, because even though like I said, it's not like it's a Gamay or a Beaujolais or something like that. It has enough flavor and yet is not overwhelming. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. That's the one I'll be on the lookout for, especially at that price point too. It seems like there's a lot going on in there,
Right?
And I think it's balanced fairly well. Other than again, the fruit of that cherry that you're talking about, that really is the one that comes to the forefront. But it's nice. There's some other supporting players in there. And over the last decade or so, we've had many a supporting player in the form of a video and a podcast
Right.
show up on our website, AboutBeverages.com. That's where you can find everything that we've ever done, stories, articles, recipes, all that stuff. You go there for that. If you only want the latest videos, you can subscribe on YouTube. We would greatly appreciate that. You can find our most recent podcasts, and including these live shows that we do most Thursday nights on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages. You can find the full-length podcast about 4 or 5 days later. We've got that up on YouTube for you. If you only want audio, and some people do,
It's
fine.
fine.
It's fine. You're on the go. You're active. You don't want to watch a video, but you still want to hear what we've got to say.
Thank you for still wanting to listen to us.
Yeah, exactly.
No
Thank you
matter
for
what.
that.
Yes.
You can find everything on obviously Google Podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcast, any of those. Search for us on your favorite podcast app. Search for About Beverages, and you will probably find us. And on to the 3 pillars.
And on to the 3 pillars, the 3 pillars being Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, which is where we are most active. And you will find us letting you know that we are about to go live on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages most Thursday evenings, which is when we record these standalone podcasts in the midst of a whole bunch of other conversation and chat that we do. We interact and talk with everybody who wants to join us, and we're going to talk about beverages, obviously, but we're going to talk about whatever happens to come up. Food a lot.
Yeah,
That's a
food
good
comes up a
companion
lot
to
yeah.
that. There's gaming chat. There's all kinds of stuff, and also Andrew's going to let you know what he's doing throughout the week, and he'll keep you updated as to what he'll be doing and when he'll be doing it on Twitter.
But as we always say, whether we like it or not,
You should give it a shot.